Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For this video, we'll be discussing the 1996 movie Striptease, starring Demi Moore and what performance are you ever going to see in your life by Burt Reynolds, who also stars in this movie. Of course, Striptease is of course one of the worst movies ever made, and I think we received a lot of backlash because number one, it is a terrible movie. But we received even more criticism for it than it should because of the fact that the year before, in 1995, one of the worst movies, if not the worst movie that was ever created, came out, which was Showgirls, starring Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. So the next year, you had this movie come out on like a year later after that. So I guess a lot of people were still there was still a huge backlash over stripper movies and movies about strippers, and so now we got a huge backlash with Showgirls, and I guess Striptease came on the fringes of that, and this one got a lot of backlash, and of course it also has campy dialogue in it, which I want to get into, and of course lousy, real lousy, over the top performance from Burt Reynolds, who was horrible performance. Of course, this movie does have a basic plot. I mean, this movie, like the type of plot you might see in a Lifetime movie, today. But in 1996, it was even in 1996, it was kind of like a cliche. At least for Demi Moore's plot, her storyline in this movie. But Demi Moore plays a woman who just got divorced from a slimeball husband, and she lost her job because of her husband, because they found out that he had a criminal record and she worked as a secretary for the FBI. So she lost her job with the FBI because of her slimeball husband, and now she can't support her daughter, and she wants to have time to get an actual job. And meanwhile, the husband has no job except being a criminal and stealing roaches and stealing stuff from charities and stuff, and being a con man. And so who's better, con man or me? And the judge decides to give custody to the father only because of the fact that he was an informant for the cops. That's why he was not in jail. So Demi Moore says trying to get another job, and I don't know why she couldn't get another job with law enforcement. I mean, that would make sense. But she didn't, and she gets a job working as a stripper. And of course, the iconic thing is, of course, the scene that gets made fun of was when she was first working when you first see her getting made up to go out for another performance at the strip club. His name was Eager Beaver. That was the name of the strip joint. He goes, "Oh, it would be so great for me to tell the judge that I work at the Eager Beaver." The Eager Beaver. She does that. I mean, the way she looked at it in the face, "Oh, the Eager Beaver." And she does that. And her thing was made fun of. And just about every reviewer at that time, like Cisco and Ebert and other places, made fun of that particular scene. So what happened was, while she was performing, and then that's the only highlight for this movie is seeing Demi Moore naked. Anytime you get to see her naked is a highlight. All the time, man, all the time. And so, knowing that you see her naked in this movie, and she does have a great body. I mean, those of you out there who don't think Demi Moore has a great body, you're either blind or gay, right? So, while she was out performing, she was only working at the strip club for about like 8 weeks at that time. But that's when Burt Reynolds comes in. He plays a local congressman, and he comes in. He's a pervert. He is a 100% U.S. certified pervert, and he goes gaga over Demi. I mean, who wouldn't go gaga over Demi Moore anyway? But he really does it over the top. And there's one particular scene where he's supposed to just about to give a speech. He oiled his body up full of Vaseline, and you see him wearing like garter belt, and I mean, it was like over the top. and he was an absolute pervert, Burt Reynolds, through the whole movie, and he wanted to have sex with Demi Moore, and actually, of course, Demi Moore says, "Look, I'm not supposed to have sex with customers. If you want to play with lap dance, naturally, it's one thing, but I can't, I can't have sex with you, and I have morals. I can't have sex with a customer." And he says, "Because I'm not a hooker. I'm just a dancer in a nightclub, in a club." So he didn't care. He was trying to do everything he can to have sex with her. And of course, while this stuff was going on, there was a customer who was wanted to help Demi Moore out. Like this fat geeky guy, kind of like me, who says, "Oh, I know how to help you out with your kid." I said, "How do you know I have a kid and had a custody battle?" I said, "Well, I heard from somebody. They have all these legal files, and what you do is you go try to blackmail this guy, this congressman, or the Burt Reynolds character. If you blackmail him, say, 'Hey, I know you like to visit my club. I was notifying the press. The only way for me not to notify the press is if you help me get my kid back,' which of course was what does happen. And so for obligation, she dances for him, gives him private dances for him. Well, all that stuff is going on. The problem with this movie is all the crazy subplots. And the subplot, there's one particular subplot where the bouncer in the club is trying to con this yogurt company. He actually takes a roach, puts it in the club, and so trying to pretend to get a lawsuit against this yogurt company for saying, they have roaches in the yogurt, and the sewer would get covered for $7 million. And the lawyer was played by Stuart Pankin, from the old 80s HBO television series, not necessarily the news. And he also appeared as Michael Douglas's friend in the movie Fatal Attraction. So that's Stuart Pankin. I don't know what happened to this guy. You haven't seen him for years and years, for like 20 years. I don't know if he died or not, but he was, a pretty funny guy. And he was a slimy lawyer. That was one subplot. And getting back to the subplot of this geeky guy who has a crush on Demi Moore, he gets killed by, major spoiler for those who didn't see the movie, he gets killed by the congressman's henchman. So there's this homicide detective trying to figure out what happened to this guy, and Demi Moore does provide information to the detective to help out solve this crime. And then meanwhile, she decides to help the congressman, set the congressman to give it because she was hot. He was so hot for Burt Reynolds was so hot for Demi Moore that she wants the congressman off her back, and so she decides to help the police out. So all this stuff is going on, and she finally does get help, and she does get custody. By the end of the movie, she does get custody of her kid back, who I should mention was played by Ruma Willis, one of Demi Moore's daughters that she had with Bruce Willis. So what I should mention before I sign off for this review, the reason why, of course, nowadays, and this movie came out in 2019 instead of back in 1996, Donald Trump will make tweets all over this movie because of the fact that Burt Reynolds' character is a Republican. Only the Republicans who could be perverts or go to strip clubs. People kind of forgot what Ted Kennedy did. Right? He killed a woman driving off a bridge in Chappaquiddick. You forgot that Bobby Kennedy and John Kennedy conspired to kill Marilyn Monroe. That's if you believe in the conspiracy theory, that is, of Marilyn Monroe's death. And also, of course, all the stuff with Bill Clinton. So, and those were all Democrats, guys. All three of them, or four of them, all Democrats. Meanwhile, they're trying to say, he's a pervert because he's a Republican. So you're sticking himself, putting Vaseline all over his body and being all slick like a channel swimmer. And this guy was an over-the-top, perverted congressman, and they had to make him a Republican. You don't make him a Democrat. They make him, at the time we had Monica Lewinsky, nah, They don't want that. They wanted to make him that Democrat. So they make him a Republican. And the reason why you know he's a Republican was the scene where the geeky guy who was playing back then the congressman, he's in the congressman's office, and you see him in the you see in the background a picture of Newt Gingrich, who was then the Speaker of the House at that time. And so you know the guy is a Republican by having a picture of Newt Gingrich. So and he did make one joke about the Democratic Party, or my opponent's a Democrat, got beat him in the election and stuff. So they had to make Burt Reynolds into a Republican, a pervert. He was a perverted and perverted Republican congressman. I mean, that part just ticked me off. I mean, true or not Republican, but they always try. The liberals in Hollywood always try to make the Republicans as humanly bad as possible, so they won't get elected to any office. But like what they did with Trump. But that's what happened. That's what they did in this movie. They brought Reynolds into a Republican congressman who was a pervert. But for this movie, I mean, it's just as bad. I mean, the backlash on this thing was huge at the time. Maybe not as big as Showgirls, but this movie was just bad. I mean, the only good thing about this movie is seeing Demi Moore naked. That's the only good thing in this movie, because Demi Moore is still so smoking hot that even today, over 20 years after this movie came out, or over 30 years since her movie career, I mean, like, this woman has never aged, and she's so hot. I mean, it's unbelievable, especially in this movie. So if you want to check her out naked, check out this movie or the other movie that she did early in her career called About Last Night, which I haven't really seen, because I know she does a nude scene in that movie as well. There's only 2 movies that you know that she does a nude scene in, and the only other movie where you see her in the bikini was in the crappy Charlie's Angels movie that she did. But Demi Moore, except for the one scene I mentioned earlier when she was the Eager Beaver moment, Demi Moore was not too bad in this movie, except for the one scene, which everybody like I mentioned earlier, everybody made fun of. So that's been a review of the movie Striptease. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel, please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You can check out all my reviews and all my YouTube channel at RowdyC.com, it's WDY, and that's C.com. It's the homepage of the Rowdy Reviewer, Christy Moore, and please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.